I'm sorry, everybody. I had to start the live over because my phone overheated, and I don't know what happened after that. After I pressed resume. All right, so I guess I have to start over because I'm not going to use the other live. It's broken up. All right, so thank you for joining me on my channel. My name is Aya. This is a very good life. We're going to be discussing Pluto in the fifth house. The fifth house is a house of pleasure, and I feel like I miss out on the joys of the fifth house because I have Capricorn in the fifth house. So being working, making money, and being serious is fun to me. And so I don't know the joys. Like when I was growing up, everybody just thought I was too grown and I needed to learn to have fun. I needed to learn to loosen up, which is still part of my lessons because of this placement for me. But if you have Pluto or Scorpio um, in your fifth house, then you like to party. And sometimes you can party too much. The fifth house has to do with sex. It has to do with love. It has to do with dating. It has to do with pleasure, your creativity, how you like to shine, where people can find your creative juices and your ego. So here with Pluto, you could have gone through things in your childhood where your ego was put down, where you were told that you're not good enough, that it's wrong for you to shine, or there could have been physical violence and maybe even um, retaliation towards you or jealousy towards you for your gifts and for your talents. So you could struggle with insecurities about how you shine and maybe shrink back when you should be showing off who you are. And when you finally get the energy and you figure out that you don't have to believe what people have told you your whole life, then that's where your power comes in and you are seen as a fighter. You might have to fight to get your art seen, or fight to show off your skills, and fight for love, and fight for your children in some way. Since this is the house of children, you could possibly have struggled or know of people with this placement that have struggled with miscarriages or some type of trauma when it comes to childbirth, or having to fight to have children, and or go through major transformations and trauma and life lessons, because Pluto is about karmic retribution. It's where you uh, will find your biggest upsets in your life. It seems like you were born into the drama in this area. It's not something that you feel like you have a choice, and if you could, you would run away, from it. And maybe growing up, you did feel like you wanted to run away and get away from the noise or the violence. This placement could denote domestic violence in the home towards children, or towards the mother in some type of way. Okay. And again, with this placement, you could be a great actress, singer, someone that stands out in society, and who has a testimony, someone who has a story, someone who is an example for other people that of overcoming your trials and tribulations in your life. All right. So I'm going to pull Angel card. I know I pulled one already, but I'm starting over. So Pluto in the fifth house. Too many. Pluto in the fifth house. And there's something about genius, about your pain and passion meld together that creates like the biggest art. That's what I'm also seeing. It's like this placement is full of willpower. It's full of um, like pushing your way. It does remind me of Tina Turner and what she had to go through in her life in order to find herself and her independence and her glory. This is like about finding your strength and finding your glory and overcoming all obstacles no matter the odds. It's like this placement is about beating all odds against you. Hey Hahel is the mission, faithful servant, gives unconditionally, shepherds of souls, missionary, vocation in relation to spirituality, heightens faith, spiritual riches, non attachment to worldly things, acts in an impersonal, detached manner on the invisible plane, wards off enemy of spirituality, reveals the universal God, capacity to sacrifice oneself, nobility of soul, seeks to convince, identifies with martyrs, feels persecuted, fights what one cannot be, scandalous behavior, fails in one's projects, false virtue based on appearances only, denies one's divinity, enemy of spirituality, mockery, scorn, hatred, inquisition, and religious fanaticism. Okay, so that's the distortions of Ha Ha Hell. And I definitely see some themes of Pluto in the fifth house, scandalous behavior, maybe dating scandalous people, dating people who are failures, really. And I can see people with Pluto in the fifth house dating people and getting into sexual relationships with people who make promises to them. Oh, it's transiting your fifth house now in Capricorn. I have Capricorn. I have Capricorn in the fifth house. I don't know, guys. I wanted to do this live because I did not do this aspect last week, but for some reason, I'm feeling this hazy when it comes to like my oracle powers. I don't feel as strong. Maybe because today I gave my little sister a really long reading about her relationship. I spent a lot of hours working with her because of what she's going through. She's actually pregnant, which is very fifth house. But yeah, this would denote having enemies in against your projects or against your progress towards being powerful in your life and having to fight to be who you are. And maybe also what I was seeing is within this aspect is fighting to be who you are just to prove people wrong instead of being who you are because you want to be who you are. I find with Pluto, sometimes you can live your life trying to prove things to other people, trying to prove people wrong or trying to prove that people can't bring you down or can't stop you. And that's a stressful way of living, but it can also help you get a lot of things done that maybe you wouldn't usually get done um, until you get over the hump and you stop feeling like you have to fight everybody to win. Because the fifth house actually is a very positive place. It's supposed to be a place of happiness and health and joy and creativity and pleasure. And so, you know, with Pluto here, with all of that energy, it wouldn't be used correctly. It would be used in like a weird way. Like even the people you meet in your fifth house for love and dating, it'll feel like I can't never meet the right person. I can't win. You know, it'll feel like I fail at all of my projects. I feel like I have enemies. You know, I feel mocked. I feel like I don't have any allies or anybody on my side. And so then you will have to, without seeing anybody's chart and the other placements around on how you would actually work through this, energy, it's really hard for me to see what you would actually do besides just keep on going and to prove to yourself and other people that nobody can stop you. And just always have good motives towards what you're doing. You have to know who you are. And always reach for the higher consciousness, vocation in relation to spirituality, you know, being a faithful servant, giving unconditionally without expecting anything back in return. It's basically, this angel is talking about how to clear up your karma in the fifth house. You know, instead of expecting fame and fortune to come to you because of who you are and what you have to offer, be a servant. You know, be a servant of God, and then your enemies won't be able to take you out. Does anybody have any questions? I feel off. This is definitely a placement of like the drama king, the drama queen, you know, turning your the drama of your life into actual like art. That would be perfect for this placement. It reminds me of like Basquiat and like what he went through with his parents, not really being accepted and loved by his father, his mother having psychological issues, and him using that energy to make a commitment to himself that he's going to be famous and make money off of his art while he's still alive, which is a challenge for especially a painter, you know, to do. But he used his willpower to make an impact in the world, you know. Oh, thanks. Thanks for saying this is a great video. I don't feel like it is right now. I don't feel very hazy. I'm trying to tap into energies, and I think I didn't used it up today with my sister. But yeah, Basquiat not only made his goals in life when it comes to his art and his creativity, he exceeded it. He exceeded it. He became a millionaire off of his art. And that's what I mean about the genius of this placement. It's like great adversity. I see great adversity. Maybe maybe some people might feel like they could never overcome and they could never survive. But you were born to survive if you have this placement. You were born to survive. And if it might feel like you're sacrificing yourself, you know, for your art, for your creativity, for your independence. Or you might feel like you have to give great sacrifice in order to get what you want out of life, in order for you to be happy. It's like fighting for your happiness. Anybody have any questions? I need help. I need some help reading this aspect. Let's see what the cards say. Pluto in the fifth house. Pluto in the fifth house. What do you have to say? Pluto in the fifth house. This is why I hate talking to my family sometimes. Okay, most of the time. I don't usually talk to them, but my sister was on my mind so much for the past 2 days. And so she was going through it. It drains me though, reading them. All right, Pluto in the fifth house. Pluto in the fifth house. Pluto in the fifth. What do you have to? Okay. For me, I have eliminated people from my, alienated people, but mine is in transit. Oh, okay. So the first card that comes out is the Six of Wands for Pluto in the fifth house. I need cards to help me because my third eye feels burnt out. And the Six of Staffs is about victory. Okay, that's the first thing that comes. I see that too. I see people with Pluto in the fifth house being like very, very so victorious in their life and beating all odds. That's really what this placement is about. And then the Four of Cups reverse and the Three of Cups reverse. Now, the Three of Cups reverse is about too much partying, maybe some addictions, trying to cope with what is this Four of Cups reverse about here? Some other cards. Four Cups reverse is about, I guess that would be like learning to take your opportunities. Like, because you know, the fifth house, you could be kind of egotistical. Yep. You could be egotistical and feel like you're better than everybody, or you know, you might be a singer or actor or dancer or a painter or something, and you'll feel like no, 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 I'm better than this. And you might be waiting for like your big break, waiting on your big break and opportunity, and you might not want to start off at the bottom because of your ego. And what I pulled as far as a clarity card for this Four of Cups reverse is the Three of Jades, which is the Three of Pentacles, allowing people to help you. Going to school, you know, learning before you assume that everybody is going to accept your art, accept your creativity. If you have too big of an ego and you're irresponsible with your energy, then people aren't going to see how great and amazing you are, how powerful you are. You'll miss out on your opportunities. Two of Jades reverse is about you not being able to balance everything in your life correctly, and maybe not even having the correct perspective on your place in the world. You know, if you have the big head before you even get started because you feel like you are a genius and a star already, then you just could possibly like miss out on getting there in the first place because people will block you. And this might just be the enemies that this placement is talking about, like having a lot of enemies. Be sure that you put one foot in front of the other when it comes to this placement. Allow yourself to maybe intern or learn from other people, and use your resources and be grateful for where you begin. That doesn't mean be a doormat for other people. That doesn't mean allow people to use and abuse you. Because this placement could denote maybe you feel like you have to sacrifice maybe your sexual energy in order to get where you need to be in life. I would see this placement as like the casting couch placement, to where you feel like, well, I got to do what I got to do to get where I need to be in life. I can see that. The Six of Swords comes out next, and this is about traveling, moving on. Even though it is not an easy transition, you still are able to move on and do what you want to do in your life and get over to the other side. And this is like by any means necessary. The Ten of Swords reverse is about your ego dying. You allowing your ego to die. You getting out of your own way. Because it looks like in this placement, you can oftentimes shoot yourself in the foot. Pluto in the fifth house. Yeah. And after you do that, that's when you can really start getting what you want in your life. asking for what you want and manifesting what you want. Okay? The Nine of Pentacles is about being comfortable in your own skin. After all of that fighting, after all of that trying to succeed and rise above what other people have done to you, the violence, the envy, the enemies, you finally get to a place after your ego dies, um, and you realize, you know, I have to start from where I'm at. I do need people to help me. I do need counseling, or I do need to go to school, or I can make that independent film, but I need to make friends with people. I need to make nice with people in order for people to work with me. You can't your perspective changes eventually to a place where you learn to calm down and get out of that mode to where you feel like everybody's trying to stop you from being great. Okay. The last card is all right. Okay. This will be the Queen of Cups here, but she's reversed. And so this would denote somebody who is a martyr. Like I was saying before, you may feel like you have to be a martyr and sacrifice yourself in order to get what you want. And the truth is, all you need to do is ask for what you want. Ask for what you want. Ask and it shall be given unto you. And defend yourself. Don't be a doormat. Don't let people run all over you just because you have big dreams. Yes. So to me, this is the placement where your dreams can come true by your willpower. And it reminds me of Tina Turner. You know, at first she felt enslaved to someone, all because she wanted to sing or make it out of her small town. And in watching that movie, it didn't seem like she forced anything to happen. Pluto, you don't have to force the drama to happen. You kind of run into each other. Like, so the drama and you kind of run into each other like soulmates. And it's this drama that teaches you that you're stronger than you could ever imagine. And it takes you someplace. It takes you within. This is the karmic retribution and the psychological trauma and the drama that happens with Pluto. This is the phoenix rising out of the ashes. And when you find your true voice, it's even better than you could imagine or anyone else could imagine, for that matter. All right. I feel like I finally found my stride at the end of this. Thank you, everybody who stuck it through with me. If you have any questions, let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Okay. Well, if nobody has anything they want to say, I am going to relax. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.